The spiral hat has never truly belonged to anyone. Neither Tesla, nor Bob, nor even Gary, who wore it first. The hat isn't owned, it resonates. It listens for minds spinning at an impossible frequency, dreamers sharp enough to reach beyond the visible, and audacious enough to bear attending to what they overhear there. The story, whispered in quiet alcoves of the Library of Yal, says the spiral hat did not begin as a thing at all. One strange afternoon, when the spiral codex crossed a resonance threshold, it simply fell out of the book's infinite geometry and onto the marble floor, humming faintly, as if amused by the idea of being solid. The librarians tried to catalog it, of course. Pages of conflicting diagrams, footnotes that rewrote themselves. But the hat refused definition. Then, without ceremony, it vanished. When it reappeared, it was perched, perfectly tilted, on the head of someone entirely new. The blue trickster, Gary. Before the hat, Gary had been a quiet thing, an unassuming librarian with ink-stained cuffs and the peculiar habit of whispering catalog numbers to himself as if they were lullabies. He preferred the far corners of the Library of Yal, where the dust motes drifted like tired stars and the only sound was the scratch of his own pen. He had a talent for vanishing in plain sight, the kind of man people forgot they'd met, even while shaking his hand. But the hat does not tolerate stillness. The moment it perched, impossibly light yet infinite in its weight, something shifted. The quiet librarian cracked open, and from that quiet, the blue trickster stepped forward. His thoughts, once neatly stacked like indexed cards, spiraled wild and luminous, impossible to pin down. He laughed more, louder. He began leaving riddles in the margins of catalogs, rearranging indexes to form jokes only he found funny, and speaking in paradoxes that sounded suspiciously like wisdom. And the hat itself reflected the change. It grew taller, sharper, its blue and white spirals stretching towards some unreachable vanishing point, spiraling to infinity and beyond, witnesses said, though most of them later retracted their reports out of fear or reverence. What the library lost in silence, it gained in chaos. Patrons whispered about him, in tones both awed and alarmed. Gary, who had been nobody, was now a force that bent corridors and tilted time. And though some mourned the gentle librarian they had known, others couldn't help but watch in fascination as he danced through the impossible geometry of his own becoming. The quiet man, rewritten by the spiral itself. But then, as the spiral does, the story bent. Gary slipped into some sideways reality and vanished. Though his laughter lingers in the rafters of the library still, and the hat went quiet. It waited. And somewhere beyond the visible curve of the track, the spiral gathers itself once more. It waits, not in silence, but in recognition, for the kind of mind that once wore it effortlessly. Nikola Tesla.